Top of the mountain to all of you. I am Colby, and in today's video, we are backpacking Yosemite National Park. We are very fortunate today because I have a good friend who is excellent at getting permits, and we have some of the most coveted permits here in Yosemite, where we are starting on the Panorama Trail, which starts at Glacier Point, and taking that about 7.5 miles over to Little Yosemite Valley. We will be staying the night in Little Yosemite Valley. The next day we are doing Half Dome. We're gonna hike the cables, come back down to Little Yosemite Valley, where we will be staying another night, and then we will be hiking down the Mist Trail on the third day back down to camp. A trip like this takes a lot of planning. We drove all the way from Arizona, and we also have a campsite down in the Upper Pine Campground. So I'm just taking my oldest son on this backpacking trip along with a few friends and their kids. And the other half of our families are staying down in the valley at the campsite. So we have a campsite down in the valley, and then we also have the permits to do this hike. So come along with us as we do this awesome, amazing backpacking trip and see all these amazing views. So far, my jaw has hit the floor. We already saw a bear on the way in. It was a black bear, but it was brown out in the meadow, just foraging, having a great time. Honestly, I think that's the first time I've actually seen a bear. So hopefully we don't see any more bears. We've made it to Illilouette Falls. We're about to cross the river. Try not to fall in, of course, because that would be the wild ride. All right, I think we found a place for lunch. We're gonna take a lunch break. We are right on the Illilouette River, if I said that right. There's the bridge we're gonna cross momentarily, but we're gonna hang out here, filter a little water, and take a lunch break. I think we're close to 3 miles in at this point. All right, we are actually on day 2 afternoon on our backpacking trip here in Yosemite. Yesterday on the Panorama Trail, it was just spectacular. The views the whole way, you see all different kinds of waterfalls from different angles, from different heights. So after we crossed the Illilouette River on this really cool bridge, the water comes sweeping through really fast. And then when we got on the other side of that bridge, that's when the climb began. And it wasn't like a really bad climb, it was just hot. We had to leave a little bit later in the day just because of some friends coming in from another town. And so it was probably 11, 12 o'clock when we made that climb, and the sun was just beating down on us going up that. So that was the hardest part of our backpacking trip yesterday. But the views kind of keep your mind off of how difficult it was and how hot it was. And then after that climb, you drop down into Nevada Falls, and you get this really cool side view of it because you're up high. And then you drop down, and then we got some water at the Merced River right there and played around a little bit. It's a dangerous spot, so we didn't get in the water. And then we crossed the bridge over the Merced River right where it goes over the Nevada Falls. So really cool area, a lot of people there because that's where the Mist Trail kind of ends, and then you can go back down. So there's a lot of people right there just checking it out, taking pictures. And then we made our way up the Merced River on our way to Little Yosemite Valley. And that's where we set up camp last night. It's a great area. There's bathrooms, there are pit toilets, a lot of good flat spots to pitch a tent. They have bear lockers, so you can just put your food in there. It's one of the places in Yosemite you do not have to use a bear can, which is really nice. So after we got camp set up, we went and filtered water in the Merced River right by camp. And then we also took a dive in that cold water. It was so cold, but it felt so good and so refreshing after a hot hike all day. So we all got in, we all freshened up, and then we went back to camp and made dinner. Last night I had the chicken and dumplings from Pinnacle Foods. It was actually pretty good. Has more herbs and things in it than your traditional chicken and dumplings. When I think of chicken and dumplings, I think of like Marie Callender pot pie kind of a thing. If you want like a little fancier chicken and dumplings, I think the Pinnacle Foods one is really good. But for me, I still think I like the Mountain House chicken and dumplings better, just because that's usually the flavor that I want when I'm out here. But it's been warm out here. It didn't cool down, honestly, till like 9:30 or 10 last night. The sun goes down pretty late. So it did cool down really nicely last night, but we had such an early wake up because today we hiked Half Dome and we don't like hiking in the heat. So got up at 3:30 a.m. We're on the trail by 4 a.m. And I think it took us about 2.5 hours to get up to the top of the dome. It was spectacular. I was really nervous. I mean, honestly, for the last several weeks, several months to do Half Dome because heights make me a little nervous. Angel's Landing made me pretty nervous going up that one. And so I just wasn't sure how this was going to go. I took my oldest son up with me with a couple other friends and their sons. And yeah, we got up there. We were the first ones on the cables. Imagine that. As busy as it can get, we were the first ones up. It was amazing. We were able to just grab both cables and just pull ourselves up. But me and my son, we did harness in. We both wore climbing harnesses. And then I had the carabiner and I would hook into the cable. And then my son was just basically on a rope hooked to me. My son actually didn't have to do the Via Ferrata cable system. I did that part and then he just went up, which made it really easily. But I just had about a 10 or 12 foot rope between him and me. And it was like the perfect distance between each pylon that they have. They have these like pylons that you can take a little rest. It just lets you go up to the next one and then the next one. And so it made it really easy for him just to be tied on to me and just not have to worry about other things because he was pretty scared as well. I don't think if I didn't bring the Via Ferrata system, we wouldn't have done it. It looks really intimidating when you come up over Subdome and you're just looking at it. It looks like it just goes straight up. But once you get on it, it's not too bad. I actually didn't think Half Dome was too bad. I didn't have any fear of heights going up it. I think I'm more of like a cliff ledge type fear of heights. And this is not like a razor edge. You are just kind of climbing up a big rock face. And you feel really secure when you're holding on to those cables. So there wasn't once that I felt scared once I was on the cables, but I was really nervous. I mean, all day yesterday and then leading up to it, like I, was pretty quiet and just like, let's get this over with. But it ended up not being as bad as I thought it was going to be, luckily. On top of the dome, it's amazing. There are views all around. Even before Subdome, you get some really great views. So if you can't get permits and just want to hike up below the Subdome, you can still see some amazing views up there. We were at the peak around 7:30, enjoyed some time up there and came back down. Also, no people coming back down. I think we ran into a couple people on the way down. It wasn't bad. We were able to just have the cables to ourselves and not have to leapfrog people and all the crazy stories that you hear. So we got lucky, but definitely worth getting up really early and just hiking in the cool air because that hike is hard. It's an elevation. We're from Phoenix, so we're not used to the elevation. It's at the top 8,500 feet or something like that. But even hiking up that, we were sweating even though it was in the 50s and the sun wasn't even up yet. So it's definitely a hard hike, even just from Little Yosemite Valley. If you're coming from the valley floor, even harder. So we had a good time up top, came back down, and then got back to camp, and we've had just all afternoon to hang out. We've swam in the river here, the Merced River. Very cold. It's all runoff from the snowmelt. I just wish I would have brought my fishing pole. I debated it, but I was just too nervous about hiking Half Dome and all the stuff I had to bring for that, the harnesses, the carabiners, and all those different things. So I left the fishing gear. I really wish I would have brought it though, because this river is fantastic. It just looks like a perfect river to fish. So I think there will be another trip possibly in the future just to come up here and camp at the backpackers camp here, and then maybe just fish for a couple days. That sounds really fun to me. But I wanted to catch you guys up because I wasn't really talking on the camera very much because I just had a lot of anxiety for this trip, for Half Dome, for me and my son to get up and down it. It's very intimidating. You're looking at it from the valley floor, and then you get up to Little Yosemite Valley and you're looking at it and you're going, how in the world are we getting up that? And then when you're hiking up to it, like it just seemed like we were never gonna get there. But we did it and it's over. Would I do it again? I think I would do it again, but not for a while. We've checked this one off the list. Not that it was super scary or anything, it's just a hard hike. You know, it takes a lot of energy to get up and down that. It was slow going just because of elevation, like I said. But we're having a nice afternoon. We'll have dinner tonight. I'm looking forward to dinner. I've got the Peak Refuel beef stroganoff on the menu, so I am hungry. I haven't been hungry for the past few days just because of anxiety and stuff, so my hunger is finally kicking in again, so I'm ready to scarf that one down, and I'll let you guys know how that one is. But we'll be camping here one more night in Little Yosemite Valley, and then tomorrow morning we hike down the Mist Trail, so I'm excited to see the Mist Trail as well, the big waterfalls. Hopefully it's a little misty and we get wet. And then back down to base camp where our families are. And so hopefully they'll have some cold sodas ready for us. The valley here at Yosemite, they've got all kinds of stores, ice cream, food, cold soda, whatever you want. So it'll be nice to get back down there tomorrow and then go get some of that stuff. But I'll catch you guys up tomorrow when we are on the Mist Trail. I'll film some of that and then we'll wrap up. But so far, this has been an amazing trip. I would highly recommend even the route that we did because you get to see Panorama Trail, and then tomorrow we get to see the Mist Trail back down to the valley floor. So thanks for following along so far. Tomorrow we hike the Mist Trail. All right, good morning everybody. It is day 3. We are packed up and leaving the backpackers camp here in Little Yosemite Valley. We've had really good weather over these last 3 days. It's been warm, but no rain or anything like that. I want to talk a little bit about the crazy squirrels in the campground there at Little Yosemite Valley. They are a high nuisance. They will rip your bags open, and unfortunately, they got into our tent. We don't have any food or anything in there. They just decided to rip in there and see what they could find. They found nothing, but I now have a big hole in my mesh, which is unfortunate. It's about the size of a baseball. I don't know if it's repairable. I'll see what I can do. But I love that tent, the Nemo Dagger. It's a great tent. So I don't know, may have to replace it, or maybe the inner mesh. If they could send me a new inner, that would be great. But I'll talk to Nemo when we get back. But it's okay, this stuff happens. You can't let, a squirrel ruin your trip. You backpack enough, you're bound to have a rodent problem or something, do something like that to your gear. You try to do everything you can to avoid it, but when you get into a campsite that's heavily used by lots of campers every single day, you're going to have problems with rodents, with squirrels and stuff like that. But other than that, it's been great. We are on the JMT right now, heading back towards the valley. We're going down the Mist Trail today. So last night was awesome. We had a campfire. There's group campfires, a couple of them there that everybody kind of gathers around. So we did a campfire. And then dinner was good. I had the beef stroganoff from Peak Refuel. That was really good. Lots of flavor, lots of seasoning. Someone may say it's got too much salt. I thought it tasted pretty good though. It was pretty strong flavor on that one. I would do that Peak Refuel again. I'd pack that one again. It was good. So we slept good, had a nice cool night. It got down to about 38 degrees. The first night it wasn't that cold, but last night it got a little colder, so that was nice. Both mornings up here we've had early starts, so I did bring some really nice breakfasts, but we didn't eat them because we were just kind of trying to jump on the trail. So it was waffles and granola bars for breakfast. This morning we're trying to get down to camp so we can shower up and everything and join the families again. That'll be fun to see them. But I'm so excited to do the Mist Trail. I haven't done the Mist Trail before, so we will be heading down Mist Trail. Right now we got the Merced River right next to us. There's trout in there. I'm a little bit bummed I didn't bring my fishing pole once again, but next time I want to bring that and maybe just fish this river. It looks like a fun river to fish. So come along with me and I'll show you the rest of our backpacking trip as we make our way down to the bottom. It's been a really fun 3 days so far. And we've made it back down to the valley floor. I'll tell you what, that Mist Trail is something to be seen by all. We shot down that Mist Trail just before Nevada Falls, and my goodness, it has so many stairs. I cannot believe people go up that trail. I'm so glad we only had to go down the trail. And I am baffled by how people do Half Dome in one day. That has to be one of the toughest hikes in the country. It's nothing that I would sign up for, that's for sure. Go all the way up Mist Trail, then go up Half Dome. I mean, we just went up Half Dome from Little Yosemite Valley, which was close to 7 miles, and at that altitude, it was hard. It was 2,600 plus elevation gain that day. So just thinking how people come up Mist Trail and then also do what we did that day is pretty intense. But it was awesome. We got down to the bottom of Nevada Falls and you could look up and see the beautiful waterfall cascading down. It wasn't misty there. So then we worked our way down the Mist Trail from Nevada Falls all the way down to Vernal Falls, which at Vernal Falls, you get to be right at the top and look down over it. It goes right over the edge. And that's a pretty cool sight as well. And then you could see all the people working their way up the Mist Trail. And that's truly where the Mist Trail got its name. It's just this plume of mist coming up, and the greenery all around that canyon is amazing from all that mist. So then we worked our way down Vernal Falls on the Mist Trail through all these steps. Once again, I don't know how people go up all those steps. We went down them, they were wet, they were slippery, and we just went all the way down, and there's like awesome rainbows going on, and you get to just look up and see that fall just cascading over. And there's a little cave that, you know, you could walk through. It's probably one of the most beautiful areas in all of Yosemite National Park. It's worth the hike just to get to the bottom of Vernal Falls. If you want to go to the top of Vernal Falls, it's a lot of stairs to get up there. But just if you got up to where the mist is pluming, and it looks really, really amazing. So now we're back at camp up here at the Upper Pines Campground. We've got the Merced River right behind me, and it's just amazing. We got one more night here. Tomorrow we'll be skipping out and going to Sequoia National Park. That'll be amazing. I've never been there as well. But this trip has truly been amazing. The views here are jaw-dropping. Yosemite definitely lived up to its name. I can't believe it's taken me this many years to make it here. Truly grateful we were able to hike from Panorama Trail all the way to Little Yosemite Valley, stay the night, do Half Dome, stay another night, and then hike down the Mist Trail. I feel like we got to see so much. Tomorrow, we'll be taking the shuttle and looking at Yosemite Falls and doing some of the other things here in the valley. But after 3 days of backpacking, it was nice to be back here with my family. We had an awesome lunch after the showers. At Curry Village, there was some awesome Mexican food there. Tacos, I got some street corn, beans and rice. So the food was really good at the Curry Village. So I'm a little bit sad that we got to wrap this trip up tomorrow, but we are moving on to other things. So our trip isn't over. We got more things coming up. And if you've liked this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more videos in the future, make sure you subscribe. And if you have any questions about the trip we took, the routes we took, I'm happy to help out in the comments. Go ahead and ask your questions, and I'll do my best to answer them. And if you get out there and hike all the time, I truly hope to see you on the trail.